Hi, I'm Dave from Newsoo, and to go alongside our guide to using vacuum storage bags, I've also produced this, which is a quick tips guide so that you can get the most from vacuum storage bags and get the best storage possible for your stuff. The first tip I would say is, and this is obvious, I would always say this, is make sure you buy a suitable quality bag. Obviously I'm going to say that given who I am, but make sure that you buy one that's of decent quality, has got a good quality plastic used for the bag itself, and has got a good valve on it that's a self-seal valve and a good double zip to make sure it seals properly. Assuming you've done that, whether it's from us or anyone else, then make sure you buy the right bag for what you're trying to store. If you overfill a bag, it will simply burst at the seams or push out, or increase the chance of you damaging the bag and effectively not getting what you need. So don't overfill bags, use multiple bags instead, and choose the right size for what you're trying to store. If you need a guide to sizing, we've actually created an entire video that goes through every single size, including the dimensions, so that you can tell what you can get into each type of bag. The next thing, and this is probably the best tip, is when you're using the clip to seal across the zip, make sure you do so slowly, feed it and check ahead as you go. This is the time when most bags get damaged. If a bag gets damaged, this is the time that it tends to happen, unless it's stored on a sharp object or punctured in another way. But it tends to be that the clip slices through the plastic because you've done it too quickly or not noticed, or that the seam was pushing up against the clip. So do it slowly and make sure that the zip is sealed all the way across. Now 99% of the time when people say their vacuum storage bags haven't worked, it's because they didn't seal right at the very end. So they take the zip across and off, but there is a tiny millimetre here that hasn't been clipped. So the thing to do is just to pinch the very end and the very beginning with your thumb to make sure it's clipped, and then you can run the zip back across it and make sure that it's entirely sealed. If the vacuum storage bag has been folded at all, check whether there are any folds, and try, here's another tip as well, try not to store them when they're not in use without folding the zip. Roll them instead, because if you fold the zip back and forth, it basically damages it and it runs the risk of it not working. If you have found yourself without a vacuum cleaner to be able to remove all the air, one of the things that these single way valves will allow is you can actually just press down for the air to come out. Now, if you actually open the zip up slightly before you do this, you can actually remove a lot of the air and then seal it. So you could push a lot of air out, seal it up, and then continue to force more air out. It will not get it down as far as it would get if you get a vacuum cleaner on it, but you can roll and you can force a lot of air out that way, just as a stopgap measure until you can get the vacuum cleaner to take the rest of the air out. The last tip really comes about when you're storing these things, and that is make sure you store them in such a way that the valve is accessible, because any vacuum bag, no matter what the quality, will let in a tiny fraction of air over several months. And if that happens and you've stored it in such a way that you can just get straight to it, you can just, as you're hoovering around, you can just pop the vacuum cleaner on and take the remainder of the air out quickly and without having to disturb your storage. Hopefully you find those tips useful. Check out our other videos and leave any comments below in the box.